The Atlanta Falcons just got great news that honestly should be reason for some serious optimism. I mean, serious optimism. And when you look at the offseason, there's certain things you have to pay attention to. But before we get into that and what are these things you have to pay attention to, hey, I'm Craig. And me, my buddy Chris, we started this channel a couple years ago. We've been, I think, covering Falcons. They were one of the first teams we started covering. We love talking about teams that the national media doesn't really talk about. We want each NFL team to get the love that they deserve. The Falcons are poised for a big, big season. And I hope there's a lot of optimism in Atlanta, in the ATL, because you should be feeling really good. I talked in my last video. Again, we do talk about a lot of the teams in the NFC South. I don't know if I said AFC in the beginning of this video. Anyways, but NFC South, and the Falcons are, I know the Bucs have been there, done that before. The Falcons are my team of choice to win the NFC South this year. And there was a couple of things that they did and that you can see that I would go ahead and point toward they're going to be pretty good. Now, we are Lions fans. We don't hide that. Look, I got a Detroit shirt on, right? But with all of that being said, I want to take you back in time for a couple of years. The Detroit Lions had like a 9-7 season. It was 9-8, I believe. They just barely missed the playoffs. They had beaten the Packers to keep the Packers out of the playoffs, which was so much fun, right? But they didn't make the playoffs. And then that next year, a lot of things started shaping up that would be like, all right, maybe the Lions are going to be the next team. All right. And then that next year, they went 12-5. They won a wild card playoff game. They won a divisional round playoff game against the Rams and the Bucs. You're welcome. Right. And they lost in a heartbreaker to the 49ers in the NFC Championship. I see a lot of those similar things that the Lions have with the Falcons. It's being built in a totally different way, but there's a lot of similarities to it. I'm going to show you a couple of them. One of the first ones I look at, it was a question. This was on The Athletic. All right, this Falcons team didn't make the playoffs for who knows how many years. I do know. I think it's 7. All right, get as many standalone TV windows as they did. Is there actually a national demand to see this team? And the answer is you're not the first person to wonder this, and I think the answer is points. There's an expectation that Atlanta is going to score a lot of points in Penix's first full year or season as a starter. The Falcons were 6th in scoring and 5th in points per drive after Penix took over the starting job in Week 16 last season. There's also an expectation they're going to give up a lot of points. They finished 23rd in points allowed. The only thing TV likes more than 34-30 games is Aaron Rodgers speculation, and there could be lots of 34-30 games in the Falcons' future this year. All right, look, I actually have a slightly different take. Yes, I think national media likes points. You know what else national media likes? Teams that win. If it's not going to be the Cowboys, yeah, just a random Dallas Cowboy shot. I did it, right? Because no matter what, no matter how good they are, they're going to get 5 nationally televised games. Just the way it's going to go, or more. I think 6 is the max, or primetime games. But they're going to get them. But with a team like Atlanta, the reason they get primetime games is because they think they are going to be a competitive, good football team. You look at that when you go to Vegas. I was listening, this was over a decade ago. I was listening to The Herd with Colin Cowherd. And he was talking about how Vegas so often gets it right. And when you look at the NFL schedule, when you look at Vegas, and you look at who's playing quarterback, you can very accurately determine what success is going to be for a team this year. So that's reason number 1. I got 2 more for you. All right, reason number 1 is that the NFL actually has trust that the Falcons are going to be good. That's a good sign. All right, they've been doing this for a while. Reason number 2 that the Falcons are going to be good, they traded away their 2026 first-round pick. They don't trade that away for a late-round 2025 first-round pick. I mean, they gave away more as well. But you don't trade that away if you think you're going to stink. You just don't. You have to have a lot of confidence. And I think the way they ended the season has to breed a large amount of confidence for this organization. I think there's a realization that they made a lot of the correct moves, and they were probably just 1 year away. And I think that is probably an accurate thing. Now, reason number 3. All right, I might even go to reason number 4. This guy, Michael Penix Jr. I understand I'm covering up his picture. I'm so sorry. All right, I'm sorry. I'm not as attractive as him. All right, but this guy had 3 starts. In those 3 starts, he had 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. I get it. He'll continue to learn. But he had 202, 223, and 312 yards as a passer, putting together a passing grade on PFF of 87.6. He showed to be much more ready, even though I think we were. Than I thought most thought he would be. You got to remember, this guy was selected 8th. This guy was selected before J.J. McCarthy to the Vikings. This guy was selected before Bo Nix. Did he have a pretty good season? Absolutely. The big 3 quarterbacks are who were selected in front of him. Caleb, Jaden, Drake. Those are the 3 guys selected in front of him. And then everybody expected Penix to be drafted right around the spot he was. People just didn't expect Atlanta to be the ones to do it. Completely understand why they did it. But they now feel very confident in who their quarterback is. And I think that you should. The guy has a cannon, right? He has a good arm. We talk about ball placement. He's very accurate. It is. It's a live arm, and it is an accurate throw. And now that he's had a year to sit and watch, plus some game time action at the end of last year, and he's been able to have an off season, getting to know the system even more. Tell me it's not going to go in a better direction. How wouldn't it? And I also believe, here's the other thing I disagree about with that defense. Or with that statement that in the article that I read before, that the Falcons are going to give up a ton of points. All right? I think it's different. All right, here's proof from his same article. Here's the interesting part. Those numbers don't bother the Falcons as much as you think they would. They're talking about the run defense numbers. Bears coach, former Lions offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, made offseason headlines this year when he said passing game EPA, expected points added, is now the most significant statistical determinant in wins and losses. He's not alone in that thought, though. In fact, Ulbrich sees things the same way, and he has changed the way he does his job. It's such a huge shift now in how football has ever been approached, Ulbrich said. It forced me to reassess how I approach defense because I was classically taught in this game. You better stop the run first. It's been an evolution for me the last 10 years. Do I want to stop the run? Of course I do. But I would say my focus is primarily to stop the pass. Your defensive coordinator, Ulbrich, also said that 60% of his time in preparation is stopping the passing game. And look at what you did on your defense and to get more athletic. You added Walker and you added Pierce in the NFL draft. You added edge rusher Leonard Floyd, Divine Diablo in free agency. Yes, you got smaller, but you got faster, you got more explosive. Well over half the time, offenses are using 3 wide receiver splits. When you use 3 wide receivers, the defense counteracts with at least 5 defensive backs. You are going to see a team this year that is not running a standard 4-3 like Ulbrich did in New York with the Jets. You are going to see a 3-4 defense. You are going to see a lot of these edge rushers being moved in and out depending on situation, who's better dropping back in the pass, who's better rushing the passer, and you're going to be able to use a lot of those guys with linebackers in the middle. Yes, they're going to have to set the edge at times. Yes, it will be tricky sledding stopping the run, but this is a team that's even better equipped to stop the pass and more explosive, just simply by getting to the quarterback faster. Because they took forever to get to the quarterback last year. And by the way, a lot of the reason they struggled in the run because they were trying so hard to stop the pass. That is a fact. All right, hey, thank you for watching this. Be excited about what's coming up with the Falcons. And we'll see you on the next one. Hope you liked it. Hit that subscribe button. See ya.